Okay mga kababayan, no, magbibigay tayo ng reaction dito mga kababayan. Ito ay matinding balita to. Sa West Philippine Sea na naman mga kababayan, ha. Ang China nagtayo umano ng illegal structure diyan sa Baho de Masinloc.
Aray ko.
Matindi to mga kababayan, no? Talagang pakapala na talaga, nagtayo ng illegal structure.
What?
Sa pinag-aagawang teritoryo. Talagang malupit to mga kababayan, ha. At isa pa, ang barko ng Amerika at Pilipinas napasugod. Okay, no, mga kababayan, ito sama-sama natin panonoorin to mga kababayan. Ito yung matinding balita to. Malupit talaga to. Bibigyan natin reaction to. Ngayon, kung bago ka pa lang sa aking channel, please huwag mo muna kalimutan mag-like and subscribe muna sa ating YouTube channel bago tayo mag-umpisa. Okay, no? At sa ganun at isa pa, paki-subscribe din kay Good News Philippines. So sa kanyang video to, no, na ating bibigyan ng reaction. Okay, no? So umpisa na natin.
U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth formal na inanunsyo ang pagbibigay ng Amerika ng kanilang patrol vessel sa Philippine Coast Guard sa ginanap na Shangri-La Dialogue sa Singapore. Sinabi ni U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth kay Department of National Defense Gibo Teodoro Jr. ang magandang balitang ito.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Pete. All right, let's go. Come on. Yep.
It's great to see you again and all of you again. I think this is our 5th meeting.
Yes.
In the past is to announce our recent decision to transfer a 210-foot Reliance class cutter to your Coast Guard.
With the Philippines being at the chair of ASEAN this time, of course, convergence between ASEAN, just like with the Philippines and the United States and other like-minded partners, is equally important, and multilateral with a lot of convergence partners. As you said earlier, the renewal.
Ang Reliance Class 210-foot medium endurance
Teka mga kababayan, no. Ang Amerika pala, matindi, malupit din talaga, no. Nagbigay sa atin, sa Pilipinas ng barko na naman. Grabe, no. Barko na galing sa Amerika. Matindi to, malupit to mga kababayan, no.
cutter ang mapapasa kamay ng Philippine Coast Guard sa lalong madaling panahon. Ito ay may haba na 64 na metro, bilis na 80 knots, kaya nitong maglayag sa layo, 6,000 hanggang 8,000 nautical miles. Sa bilis na 12 knots, maaari itong magpatrol ng ilang linggo sa West Philippine Sea nang hindi na kailangan pang mag-refuel. Meron itong 75 hanggang 70 crew. Armado ito ng isang 25mm Mk-38 Bushmaster autocannon bilang pangunahing sandata, 2.50 caliber o 12.7mm machine guns. May helicopter fly deck din ito kung saan pwedeng lumapag dito ang isang light helicopter tulad ng AW-109 helicopter. Meron itong modern radar at navigation system. Ito ay para palakasin ang maritime patrol ng Philippine Coast Guard sa West Philippine Sea. Sa unang pagkakataon, Coast Guard ng Amerika at Pilipinas sabay na nagpatrol at hinamon ang iligal na mga pang-aangkin ng China sa Baho de Masinloc o Scarborough Shoal. Ito ay patunay na mas pinataas na alyansa ng magkaalyadong bansa. Batay sa monitoring ng mga maritime tracker, umalis sa Manila Bay noong ika-28 ng Mayo taong kasalukuyan ang barko ng US Coast Guard kasama ang Philippine Coast Guard BRP Melchora Aquino. Kinabukasan na mataan ang dalawang barko na nagpapatrol sa karagatan malapit sa Baho de Masinloc. Kasama rin sa operasyon ng iba pang sasakyang pandagat ng Philippine Coast Guard at BFAR na nagsasagawa ng regular na mga misyon sa lugar. Samantala, ilang barko naman ng Chinese Coast Guard at Chinese Maritime Militia ang namataan sa paligid ng shoal. Ayon sa mga eksperto sa maritime, mahalagang hakbang ang direktang pakikilahok ng United States Coast Guard sa operasyong ito dahil nagpapakita ito ng mas matibay na kooperasyon sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at Estados Unidos sa usapin ng maritime security. Posibleng ito Ito ang naging tugon ng Pilipinas at Amerika laban sa balitang merong mga istrukturang nakita o itinayo ang China sa Baho de Masinloc. Sinisiyasat at mahigpit ng binabantayan ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas at Armed Forces of the Philippines ang mga ulat hingil sa umano'y mga bagong istruktura sa Baho de Masinloc. Ayon kay Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr., nananatiling dynamic o mabilis magbago ang sitwasyon sa rehiyon. Bagamat maliit pa lamang ang mga aktibidad doon, patuloy ang pagsusubaybay ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ito ang isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit mahirap para sa atin paniwalaan ang gobyerno ng China dahil iba ang kanilang sinasabi sa kanilang ikinikilos.
Sa Baho de Masinloc na mga structure.
Yan na, tingnan nyo naman mga kababayan ha. Nagtatayo uli ang mga incheck, itong mga singkit na to no, ng mga structure dyan sa Baho de Masinloc. Matindi to. Talagang kapal moks no, makakapal na talaga mukha nito ng mga China. Kaya kailangan talaga no, magbantay ang ating gobyerno dyan sa Baho de Masinloc. Lalong-lalo na ang Philippine Coast Guard at ang Armed Forces of the Philippines. So talagang kailangan talaga nababantayan to. Ba't para ako yata nag-uutos ha? Ayun naman talaga kailangan eh. Ayun naman talaga kailangan 24 hours, 24 hours, 7 days. Bantay sa Baho de Masinloc. Kasi nga, anytime magtatayo ang mga incheck na mga illegal structure dyan sa Baho de Masinloc, nako, patay na. Liyari na. Maiisa na naman ang Pilipinas.
May info na ba?
May raw information at lahat naman, actually, sinasabi ko, ang Baho de Masinloc ay dynamic yung area, no? So, bagamat maliliit pa yung nangyayari, binabantayan nito.
Sa kasalukuyang Shangri-La Dialogue sa Singapore, sinubukang batikusin ng
Oh, sabi ni Secretary Gibo, binabantayan naman daw. Ano masasabi niyo mga kababayan? Binabantayan naman daw. Ay nako.
isang Chinese expert ang militar ng Amerika. Dito na tumayo ang isang sundalo ng Amerika at sinagot ang mga paratang Chinese expert na pahiya sa mga delegado na galing pa sa iba't ibang bansa.
Thank you for speech, Secretary Hexas. Most recently, U.S. Forces Korea Commander General Xavier Bronson made a striking remark in a public interview, stating that South Korea is quote-unquote a dagger in the heart of Asia aimed at China. This comment stands in a stark contradiction to the spirit of a constructive China-U.S. relationship of strategic stability, which our two presidents agreed to build during President Trump's most recent visit to China, which you also just referred to in your speech. President Trump, in particular, has also repeatedly emphasized his desire to forge the best possible relationship with China. My question is simple. Does General Bronson's statement represent the official position of the Trump administration? And is characterization of South Korea's role as a dagger aimed at China authorized or endorsed by the Pentagon? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The General is in the room, so he has an opportunity to perhaps follow up with you in the coffee break. Okay, yeah, there we go. General.
Thank you. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for that. Gentlemen, if you could please raise your hand, the gentleman who asked the question, that I might look at you directly. What I said was trying to describe the operating environment, because what's incredibly important in being strong and quiet is about being able to describe the environment wherein we're working. If you remember, the Prussian philosopher, military philosopher Clemens talked about Korea being a dagger pointed at Japan. The difference is we have to change our perspective, which is why the East Up map is important. By changing our perspective, we take into account how others might see us in the region. We've got to be strong. We've got to have the right capabilities within the Republic of Korea, but we have to understand that those things still exist, and you have to combat those things every day. What I was trying to do in a place of learning was talk to War College students about how we have to change our perspective and think about where we are. Then I can advise not only my service secretary, but then my secretary, my boss in the Department of War, on what things we might do. The secretary also mentioned OPCON transfer. The position that we have within the peninsula, based on our great allies represented by Minister of Defense Ong Bak, who's right here in the front row, is important. But what's also important is that we have the right capabilities at the right place in the right time, but also take into account our perspectives. I'm encouraged by the fact that my president and my secretary went to China. That is tremendous. And that we might have increased relationships where we might talk. And we have to remember that when we're talking to students, we want them to understand and appreciate other perspectives other than our own. So many times in over the course of my career and the secretary's career, we've thought blue and red. Well, now there's a green there where we might have in this green space the opportunity to talk and to have military thought. The only way there will be philosophers in the future wearing uniforms like myself will be that we enter into the field of ideas. And we challenge ideas. And I'm okay with the challenge of the ideas, but we have to remember that context will always be king. And we have to take remarks contextually. And I would encourage that you listen to the entire podcast, as well as the speech that I gave to the War College students, which was pretty good.
Laban Pinas.
Yun, tingnan nyo naman mga kababayan, Napahiya ang isang inchik sa discussion ng Amerika at ng mga sa quorum na ginanap na meeting o quorum. Napahiya talaga. Tingnan nyo naman, wala nang nasabi kundi yung natahimik na tamimi yung inchik na yun, di ba? So, ibig sabihin talaga, mga walang kwenta talaga to inchik na to. Mga mayayabang lang talaga. Ay nako. Grabe talaga itong mga inchik. Okay no mga kababayan, no? So hanggang dito na lang tayo mga kababayan, no? So sana nagustuhan nyo ang ating pagre-reaction. So bago tayo magtapos, please huwag nyo kalimutan na mag-like and subscribe. Okay no? So, nang sa gano'n mapagpatuloy pa natin ang ating mga ganitong mga reaction sa susunod na mga sa susunod na mga araw. Okay no? So, maraming salamat.